everybody. Today we're going to make ham and cheese tortellini. Sounds complicated, but it really isn't. So we're going to go ahead and just dive right on in. We're going to double this recipe. So it's going to it calls for just a half a stick of butter, but like I said, I'm going to double it. So need a whole stick of butter. And then we'll add the flour to make a little bit of a roux. So let me get my milk and cream ready to go. And get this melted. And while you're doing that, getting your sauce ready, you can go ahead and boil your water. I buy this tortellini here, the frozen cheese tortellini. So I'm going to go ahead and boil that. Doubling the recipe, so I need 2 bags of tortellini. I'm sure you could use the dried, but I like the frozen better. It doesn't take long, just a few minutes, less than 10 minutes, and it'll be ready to go. 19 ounces of tortellini is what you need. And those bags at Walmart come just like in the 19 ounce range. So 1 bag is supposed to be enough for 6 people. Not sure on the servings. I've made this before, but I just can't remember, so we're just going to go ahead and double the recipe, and I'm probably going to freeze half of it. Alright, butter is almost melted. Okay, fixing to add the flour. I like to just sift it just a little with another whisk. Dry whisk, just to make sure most of those lumps are out. Okay, so whisk that until it's smooth. Since we're measuring everything, it should go together just like it's supposed to. And we'll turn my heat down just a little bit. Alright. So, to let this sit for a second, we need to hurry. We're going to need 2.5 cups of milk. And we're going to need a half a cup of half and half. Alright, let's get our milk in there. We got 2.5 cups. Okay. Then we'll give this just a minute to acclimate. You do not want this milk spoiling. You're going to bring it to a boil just a little bit. This is 2.5 cups of milk, and a half a cup of half and half is what it calls for. I'm sure you could use whole whipping cream. I'm sure it would work still. That's all you have. Alright, we need to bring this to a boil, so I'm going to turn my heat up just a little bit more to speed along the process. And then we'll get my next batch of ingredients ready. Okay, so as you can see, my cream sauce base is starting to bubble just a little bit. And I don't want it to bubble much more because it'll literally scorch it. So we don't need to do that. Walmart has this in their meat department. It's called Farmland Diced Ham. And it's about £1. And I bought that because you're going to need cubed ham for this recipe. So I need 3 cups of cubed ham because, you know, like I said, we're doubling the recipe. I also need a cup of frozen peas. You could probably use fresh, but they may fall apart in the cooking process if you add them right about now. So I'm going to add the frozen peas that I have. Always keep a bag in the fridge, in the freezer, just for recipes like this. Okay, so you need to stir that up. The recipe does it for some reason. She doesn't mention adding the cream cheese in, but you need a brick of cream cheese if you're doubling it. If not, then you need about a half. I'm going to keep my cream and my milk kind of handy because I don't want this getting too thick, and it already looks like it's getting too thick. And we haven't even finished everything. So we'll just keep an eye on it, and we'll see, because I may need to thin it out just a little bit. The next thing you need to add, while you're waiting for the cream cheese to melt, 1, 2. Okay, got that. Garlic powder. I need 1 teaspoon of garlic powder because I'm doubling it. And I need a half teaspoon of pepper. Okay. So you need to add all that and mix it together. Now we need to wait for this cream cheese to melt, but we don't need to let it scorch. So I would advise you making this dish to stay right here with it. Probably the best thing. If you stay right here, it shouldn't take long. One final ingredient. The recipe calls for Romano cheese, which actually is my favorite. I like that better than Parm. But trying to find everything you need for a recipe these days, a little bit difficult. So you can always use Parmesan cheese in a pinch. You do not have to stick to the recipe on the Romano thing. Gives it a slight different taste, but it'll be fine. So, when this is done, you're supposed to mix in the grated cheese. And all we need is a cup. So, let me get that ready. I'm not going to pour it in just yet. Wait and see. Check my cream cheese first. Cream cheese needs to be melted because your shredded cheese is going to stick to it. So, you don't want that. Check it and see. It's almost ready. Okay. 1 cup of shredded Parm. Combine that, and then all you do after this, and this depends on the taste, you know, how, like your taste, how you feel about things. Some people want their pasta mixed in with the sauce, and some people like their sauce on top of the pasta. This is what the sauce looks like before I do anything to it. And I'll come back and show you what a completed plate looks like. Okay, so after you have drained the tortellini that's already been cooked, then you're supposed to add it to the pan. That's what the recipe tells us to do. I'm pretty certain, though, if you didn't want to do that, you just wanted it on top of the tortellini. Or if you wanted to change pasta, you don't have to do tortellini, but It's a nice break from regular elbow macaroni or spaghetti noodles, which is what most people have in their house. And that's it. Just keep stirring until everything is coated. I'll see you in the next video. Make sure you subscribe. Okay, so we got our tortellini done and drained. And I am going to add the tortellini to the pan.